10 new games coming to VR in 2024. In at number 10, Metro Awakening is a first-person adventure game built exclusively for VR that mixes exploration, stealth and combat. In this story-based game, you play as a doctor that's a survivor of a nuclear Armageddon. Now, this game is based on a franchise that already exists and was developed by 4A Games. However, this one's been developed by Vertigo Games, and I mean, it should be decent. Some of the games that they've worked on include After the Fall, Hellsweeper, Arizona Sunshine 2, and a few more as well. So they're pretty experienced when it comes to VR. At number 9, it finally looks like we've got some competition when it comes to games like Population 1. Contractor Showdown. It's a first-person shooter battle royale that's military themed, where you take on 59 other people. Now, this has already been out for quite a while in closed beta, but don't worry, if you haven't had access to it, it looks like it's coming at the end of April. It's going to be available standalone on the Meta Quest and on PC VR via Steam. Now, when I say Population 1, I would argue this is more like PUBG, and Population 1 is more like Fortnite. I think there's a place for both, but you have to decide which one you prefer. In at number 8, Into the Radius 2. I mean, I'm really excited for this one. This is going to be an amazing game. Get ready to meet a massive amount of enemies and weapons inside this immersive VR shooter survival game. It's the sequel to the first one. The sequel expands on the first game with things like a newly created weapon attachment system, which sounds awesome. The graphics are insane, as well as visuals for locations and loads more. They've really taken the first game and gone full throttle with this one. In at number 7, Archon Age is an action-adventure game set in a terraformed fantasy world. You can either freely explore the environments or play the campaign with over 10 hours of action-packed fun. This game includes multiple different elements of gameplay, including high level of weapon customization, crafting, exploration, and ultimate boss fights. The main premise of the game is that you are an alien weapon. You are built with full locomotion, so that means ability to freely jump, climb and swim through the world. More information will be coming about the game regarding different elements, and as soon as I find out, I will share more. But what I can tell you is this game looks like it's got a lot of potential, and you're going to be able to play it on PC VR or PS VR 2. At number 6, Aces of Thunder. Experience the thrills of this aerial combat game that has been made specifically for the capabilities of PlayStation VR 2. From the looks of it, this game is visually stunning, and I can see why they've not just gone like for a Meta Quest standalone, even though the Meta Quest 3 is really putting some power out there. This game looks like it's got a lot to it, with different competitive online game modes, such as Team Versus mode, single duels, and it sounds like more's coming in the future as well. You'll be able to test your skills against other virtual pilots in an intense aerial battle. It's also going to feature legendary planes from World War II, and in the future it's going to have more combat aircrafts from other eras. These do sound like they're going to be add-ons, so maybe a bit extra money on top of that, worth bearing in mind when this game does come out. I think if you've got a PSVR 2, you really need to check this game out when it does release. I think I'm going to. Before we get to number 5, just so you know, this is a sponsored video. I know, I'm one of them, I'm really sorry, but this does help the channel out quite a lot, which hopefully helps you guys out. Anyway, the sponsor is HONSVR. Now, they make prescription lenses for the Meta Quest 2, the Meta Quest 3, the Pico 4, the PSVR 2. And yes, if you don't wear glasses, you're probably not going to need these. But if you do wear glasses, and you were like me, thinking, when I first got the Meta Quest 2, do I really need prescription lenses? I'm not sure. I just don't know. If you're in that boat, you're probably the same as what I was. And you notice that if you're playing any games where your head's moving around a bit more, no matter how tight you get your headset, you'll feel it on your glasses. Just here, you'll feel the pressure on your nose. And sometimes you'll feel the pressure on either side. And if you get a different cover, like the silicone ones, you'll notice that when you take your headset off, your glasses come off with it. I know they don't sound like massive problems, but until you get them, you think that, But then when you do get them, you think, oh God, why haven't I already done this? Now, I started using these on the Meta Quest 2. I bought them myself, and then I reached out to OnVR because I like the product so much. And I've done a few different videos now, like the Pico 4, the PSVR 2 one, showing you how to fit them and such. And I really do rate them. So much so that I asked them if they would be interested in sponsoring this video. It wasn't the other way around. The lenses, again, come in a really nice solid case that protects them. And depending on the headset, they are pretty easy to fit. Like the Pico 4 ones are magnetic, so you take them, well, you don't take them off, but you put them on by just simply, voila, clipping in. So if you are a glasses wearer, So if you are a glasses wearer, I would suggest taking a look. Link in the description down below. And I know this is going to sound daft, but delivery of them is quicker than when I order my normal glasses and have to wait 3 weeks for them. So thanks, HONSVR, and let's get back to number 5. Next, we have number 5, Zero Caliber 2. This is obviously a sequel to Zero Caliber. However, the developers have taken everything that they've learned from the first game, mixed it with some community feedback, and they've come up with a game they say is going to blow your mind. It's going to have a single player and co-op campaign, a PvP, airstrikes, available on Meta and on Steam. At number 4, Metal Hellinger VR. Slay to the beat with this smash hit rhythm FPS. They have redesigned the original rhythm shooter from the ground up just for VR. Experience an unparalleled state of flow as you move, dash, and aim to defeat the enemies to the music. This game would be nothing without a good soundtrack, so if you're into bands like System of a Down, then this game is probably for you. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer a good pop song, so this game I don't think is really for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for you. And if you like the idea of it, you'll be able to get this on Meta or on PC VR. In at number 3, Attack on Titan VR. Fight for your life against the man-eating titans. In this thrilling mix of hunting and action, join the Scout Regiment and put on your omnidirectional mobility gear to defend and protect humanity against the titans. Get ready for this unique adventure with exhilarating flight experience, but with an anti-motion sickness technology that will help you bring thrilling cross-range combat against killer titans to life. Cool, I'm not going to throw her. You can also team up with other members of the Scout Regiment in a 2-player co-op or go solo in a fight for humanity. And at number 2, WanderFragments of Fate. Walk in the footsteps of those who have gone before you. Explore ages and events long lost to the hands of time as you find yourself thrust headfirst into the thrilling stories from history in an adventure like no other. Discover rich worlds, encounter heart-pounding action, and solve mind-bending puzzles as you rewrite the past and shape the future. This is a remake, but it has multitude of exciting new features and gameplay filled with breathtaking new visuals. You can now swim, jump, crouch, climb, zip line, cool, and swing your way through time. And finally, we have number 1, Behemoth. And as the name suggests, this is going to be a beast of a game. A big boy. Potentially looks like it could be up for Game of the Year when it comes to VR, if it's released. But then again, that didn't stop Cyberpunk, did it? In this game, you're going to sink into a new world of danger, survival and mystery from the creators of The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinner, so you know it's going to be a good game. If you like The Walking Dead, that is. You take on the role of a diseased wanderer, lost in the frigid, forsaken lands. You have to overcome dangerous environments, deadly warriors, and towering behemoths. This promises to use weighty VR combat and lifelike physics, which for a true VR game is really what you're wanting. It is difficult though to actually fulfill that. You travel through strange, unworldly environments and overcome it all, no matter how large those obstacles are. If you got to this point, thanks for sticking with the video. I kind of want to know what you guys think to these style of videos, because they're a bit different to what I'd normally do. The top 10 lists or the list of games, upcoming stuff. And I need to know whether you like them or not, really. Like, sorry, like, I don't know. Was it boring? Would you prefer more of my opinion? But thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.